You're listening to the Transformational Speakers Podcast with your awesome host, Erin Lohman-Jack.
Hello and welcome to the Transformational Speakers Podcast. I'm your host, Erin Lohman-Jack, and today I wanted to talk to you about your worth. How many people are here listening thinking, maybe I should up my prices, maybe I'm not charging enough, maybe I have bottomed or topped out of my fees? I'm really thinking about today. I'm thinking about, this is the end of the day for me, and I've been on phone calls with over 7 coaches today, coaches, authors, and speakers who really are needing a boost of confidence when it comes to worth. I think when I first got started out, I was charging $797 for coaching services, a monthly $797. And then I hired a coach at $1,000 a month. And it really actually increased my sales. It doubled my sales because not only was I in integrity to say that I also have a coach and I'm working with a coach, but also it helped me have the conversation. I know it's a struggle to come up with the money for this, or I know this is a big investment in yourself, and I get it. I've been there, done that, because when I enrolled with working with a coach, I struggled with the same thing. And I think the other part that really changed for me was just the energy of I'm paying someone more money than I am charging. And within about 4 or 5 months, I upped my prices and I started charging $12.50 a month. So more than she was asking me for. And I thought it had to do with, you can look at statistics, you can see what the market can bear, you can do all of that. But let's be real. It's not about you. I think so many of us are struggling with the imposter syndrome, thinking, who am I to charge this much and why would someone hire me? When we're quiet in our own office or at night laying in bed thinking about, what I need to do to make the next $5 or whatever it is. But you're thinking about, well, how dare I do that? Do I give enough value to charge more? Is this just normal? I'm struggling and I need more. And instead of going out there and looking for more people, have you ever thought about actually increasing your prices? So here's what happened for me. I've been charging way too less for way too long. And when I stepped aside, one of the things that I realized is people aren't paying you for you. They're paying for the value and the results that you bring them. So if you look at, an author coach, I spoke to one today and his thing was write a book in 90 days. And I thought he was charging too little. And then I said, so when we actually put this out and we look at how much you're charging and how many calls you're having with these people, it came out to be $11 an hour. I think a lot of us aren't doing the math on that. Because when I sit down with clients and I say, okay, what are you charging? How many clients would you need to do that? I mean, how many people, for me to hit 5 million this year, that would mean I would have to sell 250 one-on-one packages. I can't serve 250 people at that high rate. So it's realizing that A, you might need other revenue streams. B, you might need to raise your rates so that you can get closer to that faster. And why wouldn't we? If I was my own client, I would say that. I laughed when I actually looked at what I was charging and having so many people tell me they couldn't afford it. I realized I was helping newbie speakers, people who hadn't built a business around it yet, maybe didn't have the funding behind them yet. And that's not who I want to serve. I want to serve high-level speakers, authors, coaches that want to take this to the next realm. My C-level executives pay me a lot of money more because they also see more of the value and they understand what the market will bear in corporate America. So why wouldn't I hold that same standard for the people I was serving as entrepreneurs? So I want you to look at, what are you charging? Is it getting you to your goal? Is it helping you make more money so that you can serve more people? If you have some people paying at a high price point, if someone can't afford it and you want to give them a discount, you can, because your livelihood is not at stake. So I challenge you today, look at your pricing. It really isn't, for me, when I work with speakers, I'm helping them master their talk. I'm helping them learn how to communicate so they deeply connect with their audience and they close more than 30% of the room. That's worth a lot. I teach people marketing and sales conversions, revenue generation and leverage programming. Like, this has to be the mindset of the people that want to come work with me. And I know on a phone conversation this morning, I was able to increase her sales by $50,000 based on how she had her program written. So what is it? Why aren't you feeling like you can charge more? Think about the ROI. The book coach. If you get your book in 90 days, you have credibility. And if you sold just, what we figure out, I think you have to sell 20 books or 80 books, sell 80 books around the $25 mark, and you will be able to get your ROI. You'll be able to make the money back that you just paid me. One of the first sessions I do with my clients is always a VIP session. And I also just do this as something I do, like people can just hire me for a VIP day. So I sit down and we come up with who is your ideal audience, what is your compelling offer, writing it out, getting you a marketing plan, figuring out what your program and pricing is, getting all of that nailed down so you know exactly what you need to do to make the money that you just invested in me. It's not about you. Again, your pricing is not about you. It's about the value you add to someone else's business and someone else's life. Now, if you coach on, air, it's harder to quantify, how much air is worth and all of that. But if you really look at what are the results that your clients have gotten by working with you, and if you were to have to put a number behind it, what would you charge? What was it worth? Some of the questions that are on my application for a phone conversation is, what is your past sales? What's your sales goal for the next 12 months? And what would it be worth to you so that that problem was solved? That's one of the biggest things. What would it be worth to you? If you figure out it's worth a lot more than you're charging, then you need to charge more. And that's the point. The point is, stretch yourself. Go for broke. Get out there. I don't like go for broke because maybe that's the opposite of what I want you to do. Don't go for broke. Go for rich. Go for a rich and full, fulfilled life that is, the income is just helping substitute. That's just helping you get through that. So I really would love for you to figure out what are the results you deliver? If you're able to increase someone's sales by double, do you think it's worth more than $400, $700, $1,000? And based on the application that they fill out, those questions always tell me a lot. If someone is breaking 6 figures and they want to go to 7, and they tell me it's only worth $250 to $2,500, there's something wrong in their money mindset. Because that shouldn't be a stretch. If you want $50,000 more, you want $900,000 more, I think it's worth a lot more than that. So look at the results you get for your clients. Charge what you're worth. It's not about you. Get out of the way. It's not about you. It's about how you serve your clients, and it's about how you can serve more of them with bigger packages and a bigger stream of places people can come in and play with you. Look at your pricing. Is it stopping you? Is it exciting you? Is it outside your comfort zone? Because if it's not, you need to raise your prices. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you haven't already, rated, subscribed, and reviewed this podcast, please do so. It helps me be able to procure bigger and bigger audiences, bigger names to come on here and play with us. It really helps support more of us in this industry and getting people's messages out to the world. So I challenge you as well to go out there and support me by rating, reviewing, and subscribing to this podcast, and maybe share it with your audience. If something today really struck a nerve, maybe you really got something out of it, feel free to share this with your audience as well, as all rising tides raise ships. Thank you so much. Have a great day, and I will see you on stage. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Transformational Speakers Podcast. If you'd like to know more about your host, Erin Lohman-Jeck, and how to work with her, please go to her website at erinlohmanjeck.com. You will find more about her coursework, and resources. We hope to see you on stage.